Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Jam Packed Business Made Easy with AI. And I'm Flora, your host. Today's conversation is one of those episodes that reminds me why I love doing this show. I sat down with Megan Pater, and I hope I said your last name right. She is the founder of Fund-Nation and Birthmom Buddies, a woman who has taken lived experience, resilience, and a hard earned wisdom and turned it into real funded systems that create change. We talk about what it actually looks like to build impact from the ground up and how AI supports everything from research and stakeholder mapping to grant strategy to reporting across every phase of the week. This episode is about turning survival into systems and using AI as a tool to scale what truly matters. Let's get into it.
Hello. There we go. Okay. I'm just now getting into that. I was talking to you, but there's no mic on. I'm just now getting into my office, so I'm gonna switch over to my computer right now.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, I'm already late.
No, you're totally fine. These calls are casual. They're, yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm so much better with casual. I suck at professional. It's not my
forte. Pretty professional. Where are you calling from?
California.
Oh, what part?
Boron.
I don't know where that is.
Nobody does. It's a very, very small town.
Okay.
It's in Kern County, like the bottom of Kern County, right next to San Bernardino, like county line.
Yeah.
2 hours away from LA-ish. Depending on the day and traffic.
Yeah, right. And then have you been there a while?
No, we just bought property. We bought property in 2016, and then we ended up purchasing our home, and then for like $60,000 cash, and we were like, great, done. Let's not rent anymore.
Congrats.
And then I decided I wanted to have a nonprofit out here, so I bought another building. I made my mom come out here. So 2016 turned into like 2020. By the time we got the house fixed up so that somebody could live in it. So then I made my husband live in it, and I stayed in Beverly Hills until he had finished my house. I was like, I'm not going there until there's like a roof and stuff. Because I'm just not. And so he did all the work. And mind you, he's paraplegic, so that was interesting.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I came home one night. It was so funny because like half of the house was painted, and I was just like, "Is that just as far as your arms reach?" And he was like, "Shut up." Yeah. It was so funny. He's like, "You're gonna have to do the top." I was like, "No one helped you." He's like, "You're helping me. That's why you came up here." I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's right."
So did you?
Yeah, I finished it. But it was so funny because I was like, "This is hilarious." If anybody's ever watching us, like if this is a sitcom to like Aliens, we were the best show ever. So that's my take on it, at least, because like that was just hilarious. It was like blind. Okay.
And what about your nonprofit?
So I have two. I didn't mean to have two, but
I could say the same, actually. I totally get it. Yeah.
I didn't mean to, but it happens like that, and as you know, I guess. So I like at home. I'm gonna switch over to my computer. So it's gonna cut out. Okay. Ooh, now I'm echoing. Am I still echoing?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm trying to get rid of cats now. So I have my Birthmom Buddies, which is my child, right? I have my very first nonprofit that I screwed everything up on. I learned on, and not to the benefit of it by any chance at all. And then I did that, and that was Birthmom Buddies. It is a post-adoption services for birth moms.
Wow.
Post placement after they place a child for adoption.
Wow.
Services for them after that. The money follows the baby, and that's pretty much that. And it's have a good life. So I placed my daughter for adoption in 2000. Hold on, let me turn my camera on. Hello. In 2008. Am I even on, right? There we go. Stop, don't fall.
Hey.
Okay, hi. Hey. Howdy.
Nice to meet you.
So I placed my daughter for adoption in 2008, and it was a crazy experience. I had to deal with the Indian Child Welfare Act, and because I'm Native American, that was a whole freaking different beast. But it was just a lot. And I remember they'd kick me out of the hospital because I was hemorrhaging and stuff. I would stay like extra long. Baby went home. My mom went with the baby. Her mom obviously went with her, and then I was just left in the hospital. And the doctor comes in the morning time. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna keep you like 4 more days because you need some more blood transfusions, and let's get you settled." And I was like, "Okay, I guess great because I still feel like crap.
Yeah.
You know? And then like 4 hours later, a nurse comes in and she goes, "Hey, here's your discharge papers." And I was like, "Wait, what?" "No, no, I'm supposed to stay." And she's like, "No, no, no, you're leaving." And I was like, "No, no, he just came in like earlier and told me I was staying." And I like argued with her. And she's like, "Listen, your Medi-Cal's up." And I was like, "What?" Like, you don't have a child, you're making too much money, and you're no longer pregnant, so it doesn't qualify as emergency Medi-Cal. Your Medi-Cal, we need the bed. Like, you have to go. And they kicked
Wow.
me out. They kicked me out. And I was like, yeah, okay. This is happening. And like, if I hadn't had a place to go home to, that would have been really screwed. But luckily,
Yeah.
oh my God, hi.
Your blood's happening there.
Yeah, baby girl. Hey, hi. Hi.
So in that moment, you realized that you really needed, you needed support.
Huge. Yeah, and like I needed way more things. And every place I called, it was like, "Hey, yeah, we do retreats." And I'm like, "I don't need a flipping retreat. I need a car and a job, maybe some rehab. I need
Yeah.
everything." Like I had just come out of a prison term, like a 7-year prison term, and then I was like fertile myrtle, so I got pregnant. And it was
Yeah.
just a bad situation all around. And I was just like, okay, I need a lot more things than just a retreat. And I was like, I don't care about my other person. I don't care. I just want help. And I didn't qualify for anything else because I wasn't in any bad shape. I had a job. It just didn't pay a lot. It just
Yeah.
paid more, for welfare. So
Well,
it was a crappy situation.
so then, so congrats for getting yourself out of a crappy situation. And what does that nonprofit look like now?
So, okay, so it started off bumpy. We had I had a big group on Facebook, a really cool Facebook group. And you could I had a really cool Facebook group, and then it was really close knit. I had one lady that was like working with me every single day. Um and she was a birth mom too, and like the stories you hear are just horror stories. I mean, I was just kind of like I was a little bit taken aback because my adoption story wasn't bad. Like I just don't like children, so but I was fine with my adoption. I was like, it was a good choice for me. I found out with my son that I didn't like kids, and I was like, oh, we're not doing that twice.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
you know, wait, what are you doing? Stop. What are you doing, little one? Okay. So oh my God, baby girl, love you, bye. She's gonna jump back up. Watch, she's gonna scare
That's
me.
fine. She's
Okay.
welcome.
Okay. Well, that's great because I don't think I have a choice. Um, but I do cats, and I've said that since I was 18 that I was gonna have cats and not kids, and then I got pregnant with my son, and I was married, and I was like, okay, well, let's just, I guess that's cool. It wasn't at all. I didn't like it. So, I found that out then, and I knew before the minute I was pregnant, I was like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing this. So I had a great adoption experience. I was like relieved. I went to my 7th grade math teacher, like, hey, you want this baby? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay. I
Wow.
was like,
Wait,
cool.
okay, you said seventh grade math teacher. Were you
Yeah.
in seventh grade?
No, no, no. This is
Okay.
me.
Okay. I didn't think
My
so.
mom's teacher. Sorry, I get that does sound weird, huh? Okay,
That's
so my mom's
good.
teacher, and so we have a very close knit community
Gotcha.
of teachers that I grew up with.
Wow.
And so I went back to school where my mom taught, and I was like, so listen, you still looking for a baby? Do you want this one?
Wow.
She's like, yeah, I do. And so that worked out, and
Amazing.
that's beautiful. Yeah. So I had a great adoption experience. So I would hear these horror stories from these women, and I was like, oh my God. Like there was one lady I called to do a partnership on a grant for another agency that was doing post-adoption services. And I called and she's like, yeah, we do housing, we do this, we do that. I was like, oh my God, this is so great. Let's partner. Da, da, da. And I said, how long do you serve after after they have their child? And like, how long do they stay with you? And 3 days after the exorcisms. What? Come again?
Okay. Wait, did you just call it an exorcism?
That's what she called it. She said they stay 3 days after their exorcism. And I said, what?
Hmm.
I said,
Okay.
okay, ma'am, you have a good day. I will speak to you later.
Or never. So
Or ever.
then what does it look like for you to provide the services that you do?
Well, okay, so that was that's so thank you. I had to get round back to that. ADD is my favorite thing. Don't do it. So we were like on a really good roll, and then I had like that happen, the exorcism thing, and I was like, wait, what? And then I realized that there's like more women dying, mostly from mental health issues and taking their own lives or drug addiction. And I was like, there's never been a study on this. There's never been any type of like correlation between how many deaths a year for birth moms after placement. And no matter how long I go, how long it happens, because it's that empty, it's like grieving, but this person's still alive. So it's a really weird grieving process that they go through, or that we go through, I guess. Because I mean, even I went through it, even though I would go with my decision, I still went through that piece of like, well, what now? That was your whole identity for 9 months,
Yeah.
So it's it's a very awkward thing. Plus you have like postpartum. So anyways,
Wow.
it came out to being, I decided to go more into I was serving, and then we did like 4 funerals in 1 year. And then somebody took their life with me on the phone, and I was like, okie dokie. Clearly, I'm either doing something wrong, this isn't working, or I don't need to be doing this. So I went to training, got some suicide prevention training immediately after that one. I was like, this is not, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's not good. This is not a good first year. I was like, this is metrics bad, everything's bad, it's all bad. So I kind of just took a step back. I took a year off. I did my suicide prevention training. I did my peer counseling training.
Awesome.
Because I didn't have any of that prior. I just started a nonprofit overnight. I was like, that's a good idea. I'll do that tomorrow. And I did. That's exactly how much research I did. So I was doing all the pre stuff during, and trying to do the service and all that stuff at the same time. It just didn't work out. So I moved into more like advocacy now, because I wrote a bill, and I have like an assessment that we use to determine if a birth mom can handle more responsibility or more like activities. So like we have different services. I work with like job placement services. I work with welfare. I work with county services, Cap K, like community action partnerships and stuff like that. So we have all the services that we can put in place, but it's more like, well, what do you need? And I want them to be able to tell me, hey, I don't have anywhere to go right now. I don't have a ride home from the hospital. I don't have any clothes. Yeah. Like sometimes it's really simple. Like I just need a ride, it's like, oh, okay. But in other times it's a lot more complicated, and they need everything. And you're like, okay, so it's like more comprehensive. So I like being able to do that. And this assessment kind of gives us a good playbook, and it's something that everybody could use across all agencies. So we created that and made like a workbook for the client and an actual manual for agencies to use. And that's moving. So, I mean, it's kind of cool.
and what does that look like? Is that something you sell, or?
I would like to get licensed and like then license it out, but for right now I just want them to use it. Like I just want them to like really just get it out there. So it's not, because like there's like a threshold when somebody's got too much on their plate and they're not doing well mentally, and they're not doing well, they don't have a house, and they're under a lot of stress, and you ask them to do one more thing, it could just unravel everything you've done. So we have like a threshold, and it kind of keeps that threshold so that nobody crosses it and everybody's on the same page across agencies. And that's kind of why I like that, because I know so many times, like because I've been on probation and parole, they'll ask you to do that one extra thing. It's like, dude, I can't handle that right now. And they don't care. So they're like, no, I don't care. Do it. It's part of your probation. You're like, no, thank you. I'm going to go sit down.
Best story. You went from probation and parole to starting 2 nonprofits.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people start nonprofits. It sounds like yours is doing some big things. I mean, you mentioned you wrote a bill.
Yeah, well, okay, so somebody came to me about a bill, and I was like, oh yeah, I would love that. I didn't know what a flipping bill was. I was just guessing the lady to death. I had no clue. I was like, I know it has something to do with law, but I didn't go to school. I was like, I quit school in 7th grade. I don't remember that, So I went home that night, and I was like, yeah, to her. Went home that night, watched Schoolhouse Rocks, figured it out.
That's immediately what I thought of.
Yeah, I'm just a bill. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I know what I'm trying to do. It was ridiculously stupid. Like I was like, this is so, I can't believe I'm watching a cartoon sing to me right now to tell me how my government runs. But thank God they did.
Yeah. I'll link it here.
Yeah. So I totally wrote a bill based on that cartoon. Hopefully it's correct. I don't know. I never did any other research other than that cartoon singing thing. So I feel like it's right though. But now I have a sponsor, but we're looking for co-sponsors, and like it's going to be going to committee soon. And now I thought it was going to go into the last administration, but it's not. It looks like it's going now. So I'm like, oh, geez.
What is the bill?
It's to protect, to make sure that the birth moms get mental health care for life, just like the rest of the triad. So like the child and the adoptive parents and their extended family all get mental health care. It's all provided for them, and The birth moms they don't get anything. So I want them to just be added to that mental health care
Wow.
spectrum and be able to be eligible for SSI and be eligible for like being able to take disability and have a little extra time on leave and all the things that everybody else is afforded.
Yeah. So are you saying that typically birth moms aren't afforded like maternity leave?
And sometimes they pay for their own lawyers to do the adoption. Sometimes they have to, like, the different states have different programs and like, privileges and stuff. Like California has like subsidies that they give the adoptive parents, but they give nothing to the birth moms. Utah, same thing. There's a lot of different, it's like really weird. There's one state that you have to actually keep your child for 3 days prior to placing it for adoption, no matter what the plan was. So I'm like,
Oh,
that's just barbaric. So okay.
wait. So you watch School of the House of Rock, but you're also a Club Jam member. So like, are you using AI through this? Like, how are you doing this?
Oh my God. So I had to tell, well, I told AI, like, we're gonna write a bill. And it was like, I don't know how to do that. That's not something, that's a legal thing. And I was like, it's okay. You're a lawyer. You are a lawyer. You have a law degree from, I don't know where.
Yes.
Told it to all kinds of lies. And then it was like, oh, okay. And it wrote it. And I was like, that's not really great. Let's try that again. So I kind of just played with it until, and I kept putting in examples of ones that I thought were good. Mind you, I was putting in the freaking instructions. I thought it was like the bill itself. I was putting in instructions for the bill. And so I was like wondering why I wasn't getting good output. And so I realized that, and I was like, okay, switch around.
Yeah,
for 3 weeks I was putting in just instructions. That it's like, that's what comes up when you write. I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't read it all the way through. That was embarrassing, but whatever. But yeah, so now, and like somebody's sponsoring it. That's the whole part that I can't believe. I'm like, that's just trippy. It's cool, but trippy. So, but yeah. Are you frozen? Am I frozen? Oh, it's my Wi-Fi. Hold on. Does that help? Help. Where are we?
Megan, are you there?
Yeah, it's okay, cool. I was like, what happened? I thought it was my camera.
Together.
Okay. I thought it was my camera or something. I was like, oh no, because I have really bad Wi-Fi because I'm so rural, and people run over the backhoes and stuff. So
sorry about that. So okay, so I mean, I don't imagine that this bill is consuming all your time, because I know you're still having to play that advocate, right, throughout this. So like, what does a day-to-day look like for you?
So with Birth Mom Buddies, I've taken a huge step back. I'm not working with birth moms unless they reach out directly to me. Like if they come through an agency or something, I'm kind of redirecting them to a partner group that we've been working with. If they need actual services in my area, I will go and pick them up or do whatever. But if it's somewhere like New York or something, I will definitely pivot from that. Like here, but if they need something, I always provide. However, my focus is more on just getting that done. And then once that's in place, I don't know where it's going to go from there. But like, I don't want to deal with any more funeral plans. So I was like, all of our grant money that year went to funerals instead of to the grant program. So, and I had to call them. And that's a weird conversation to have with the funder. FYI, don't. I was like, hey, so that program we were going to do, like, could we allocate some funds instead to the parents of this, these women that we serve? And that was just such an awkward conversation. They're like, why? I was like, well, because they're birth moms and they took their life because they were upset about this. And there's like, I have one thing on the website. It's a horrible, like, this woman, the one that took her life on the phone, right? She her story is just so crazy because she gave it her son at like 12 or 13, I think she was, and she didn't want to. She couldn't deal with like the back and forth and going to see him because it was an open adoption. So he grew up thinking that she didn't like him, or that she didn't love him, and it was just really, really horrible. But they finally came together as when he was an adult, and then at 26 he took his own life, and he overdosed on pills. She got there first, and so like she was like, how do you say goodbye to somebody twice? Like, this is like, and it was just heartbreaking. And that was like about her first introduction to me on my website, and I was just like, well, this is why we're doing that. It's like, it is heartbreaking. Yeah. That is what people go through. And like, she's like, I was the first to hold your hand, the last to hold your hand, and like this whole thing, I was just like, oh my gosh, it was just a lot. And so I was like, this is this is crazy. And I think he was 2020, and she was very, 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 very kind and like sweet and like just kind of one of those like gentle souls that you don't want to see break. And and it was like that just killed, like, and then we made it a year past that. A year went by, and I was just like, that's awesome. Okay, we're safe. And no, that we weren't. So it was very interesting. So like I don't think I want to serve in that capacity for a minute. I'm not sure when I'm not sure if I will again, because like that just, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I thought we were good. I thought all that was for other people to do, not for us. Me and her were working like hand in hand for a year. It's just really weird situation.
So,
So
you mentioned, sorry about that. You said the two nonprofits, and so the first one was really that post adoption services, that mental health, and then the second one was more like advocacy. I want to be clear on the two.
No, that is the first one, is advocacy.
Okay.
The second one's a whole other separate beast. I have the Kern County Community Foundation.
Tell me about that.
It's a whole CDC, and mind you, again, didn't know research, didn't know what a CDC was, but decided I wanted to be one. Because I was able to, I wanted to do a land bank, and that's the only way I could see a like route that I could find a way there. And so I was like, hey, ChatGPT,
Yeah.
find me a way in. And it was like, be a CDC. I was like, how do I do that?
So what does that mean? Tell us what that means.
CDC is a community development corporation. So it means that you're focused on housing and low income, like just getting like stabilization of the neighborhoods. Especially
Cool. So how are you doing that?
Very slowly.
Learn.
Yeah, I'm learning, and I mean, we're about to get a building. We have a building across the street from me that's like it used to be the old Freemasons building, and it had like a
Awesome.
commercial kitchen, and then it also has like the huge meeting area, right, where they do their big meetings. And it has offices, and so we're taking that over, and it has a huge piece of land in the back of it, so we have a place for a community garden. And so we're going to make that the hub, and I want to put that as like our first piece of property into the land bank, and then start buying up all the blight properties so that people can't get pushed out of it anymore. And that's what's happening here, is as the solar fields are going up and the prices are going up, our house we bought for $60,000 is now $300,000 in 4 or 5 years. So yeah, it's extreme. But because we have outsiders coming in and buying the homes that go up for sale immediately, like we don't even get a chance to even look at them. And it sucks, because the people who are living here, then they jack up the rent. Then people who've lived here their whole lives are then getting pushed out. And then next door neighbors are starting to raise their rent, and it's kind of just spreading. And it's like, yeah, you could get that for that, but we don't even have a grocery store here, guys. So no one's paying $2,000 a month for rent for something we can't even go to the store, like it's just, but yet they are right now. And so like we have a lot of elderly people here, a lot of people on fixed incomes, and I don't want to see them get pushed out of a place they've known their whole life, and this is where they chose to retire, and they chose to be here, and like somebody needs to fight for them and make sure that they're safe into their futures.
Wow. So okay, so yeah, tell me about your day to day. What does it look like? So first of all, what time do you wake up? Because you have more hours in a day than most people, I think.
I do. I wake up at 4.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Wow.
I wake up at 4 because funders are up early as well. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I do my little prayer for like an hour, meditation or whatever you want to call it, and I sit and think and journal. And then 5 o'clock rolls around and I start making phone calls. I do not get out of bed. I just make phone calls from like 5 to 6, and I call funders that like people, I do emails or like whatever. I work on my grants pretty much, and my funder relationships, because that's like the biggest part, right? And I work from the East Coast west. So I will start on the East Coast and start my way this way. So I'm not calling anybody at 5 a.m. over here, So it's fun. I mean, I don't know. I like that part. It's like the quiet part of the day. I feed the cats. I have 30 cats. We have a cat program.
You have is that another nonprofit?
No, it's just the program that we do under the East Kern County Community Foundation. So
yeah,
we got kitty clippers, and so we had a hoarding my very first 2 months in. Someone's like, "Hey, can you spay and neuter this man's cats?" And I was like, "Sure, let me go pick them up." He had 63 cats. 63 cats.
Wow.
And they were all sick and dying, and I was like, and a lot of them were pregnant, and so I was like, And I left. I took 2 and left that day. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take
Wow,
2.
I'm proud of you, Megan. I'm proud of
Thank
you.
you, thank you. Don't be too
Yeah.
proud because I definitely went back.
Okay.
I definitely went back and got the rest, because I just couldn't deal with it. He kept like the one that I gave him medication to give to the cats that were sick, and he didn't give it to them. And the cat that was like her jaw, like her infection was so bad that her jaw fell off, and she died that way because she couldn't eat any longer. And he still wasn't giving her the medication. It was still like inside the packaging. He didn't even try to give it to her. And I was like, and that supposedly was his favorite cat. So I was like, no, okay, if that's your favorite cat, we gotta go.
So you have 2 nonprofits. One of them has a cat program. Basically, I mean, Megan, other people like have whole nonprofits just for the cats, right? Like you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
okay.
know.
You just throw that
I
in there.
don't, but I see that wasn't. I never wanted to have a cat program. It just happened because that happened. So then we got rid of most of those cats. We're down to like 31 right now, but a
Oh,
lot of
that's
them are
awesome.
fosters. Yeah, that's it. Here, personally, right here, we have I think 14, but like
Okay.
they're yeah, that's doable, right? I have a commercial building. Um,
Yeah.
it's a machine shop, so it's like icy cold, but whatever. We have heating pads. But yeah, so like we don't have any kittens right now, which is great. It's like a first. But yeah, like when we have medical issues, we take care of them. We make sure everybody's spayed, neutered, has their shots. We do vaccines. So during
I
like
mean,
when we do events, that's what we do.
okay, so 4 a.m. you pray and meditate. That is really inspirational. I've been wanting to work towards that for a while, so thank you for that push.
No.
You spend the next hour of your day basically like focusing on grants. And before this, had you ever applied for grants before or?
No, but I grew up begging for money. Like my dad's scam was like, hey, we're gonna be on welfare, we're gonna be on Section 8, and we are every weekend. That is what we did. We went to different churches, telling them different stories, and like he taught me how to lie really well, and like that's how we got our money as a kid. So, I feel like I was raised in grants, but in a weird way.
In a weird way, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay. In a little more honest way this time around, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because now, well, and I realize grants aren't hard as long as you know the pieces, and the pieces of just funder relationships is the main piece. I've had
Wow.
funders tell me my application was crap, and hey, do you mind if I rewrite it for you? I'm like, first off,
Please.
ouch, and then secondly, no, go ahead. I think. What are you gonna say? Like, am I gonna be
Yeah.
responsible for doing whatever you say? Like, I was really concerned, and she was like, "Still, don't worry about it. I just wanted to get through, okay?" And I was like, okay.
Wow. Wow.
So it really does happen. It makes a difference to know. It's not about who you know; it's about how well you've, spoken about your organization and made those relationships and been of service. Like I make sure I'm of service first, and that's what I tell all my students. Like, be of service. If you're not of service, first and foremost, if you're not reaching out to them when there's nothing else to do and there's nothing hanging over your head because you have to get that report in, if you're just reaching out to them to let them know what's going on in your organization and to see, hey, do you guys have any volunteer opportunities that my organization could come and help you with, then
Cool.
it's like it opens up a lot more doors. Than they'll call you with grants. You don't have to go searching for grants. You don't have to go worrying about grants. They come to you after that. So it's like I kind of work from that space forward. And then if we need extra money, then we'll go and start looking for things. But like usually I can just go to a funder or a sponsor and say, hey, we need a little extra money, and then they put it together for us. So
Awesome. Okay, so I want to be respectful of your time. So run me through the rest of your day.
So then, I mean, pretty much cats. I teach grants. I write grants.
Cool.
I work with Matthew Lesko. I teach grant writing, and nonprofits, like nonprofit startup, nonprofit governance, on his stations on Fridays and Sundays. And then we do a grant writing workshop on Sunday night there. And I would go through it, like pretty much it's so I can get my own work done. Right. And I have to stay put because I'm on, right? So I'm like, okay. And I get actually applications all the way finished in one time. Like never really happens to other. So yeah. I figured out how to make myself work. And then so pretty much I do that. And then I go to dinner, I walk over to dinner with my husband because I have all the cats over at the facility, and now we're having the new facility. So I don't know what it's gonna be like after that. But yeah, and then just kind of start all over again. Funding.
Well, Megan, I'm going to reach out to you. I would love to reconnect in like 6 months to see where you're at and just continue to follow your journey and just, You are a light and a fire, and we need more people like you in this world. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's been fun.
Cool. Thank you. Have a good one. Good luck with the
Yeah.
rest of your day.
All right, bye.
Here. Bye.
I don't know how to get off here.